Welcome. This is the midterm study guide session. Midterm exam, we're going to talk about the essay, possible essay questions. I won't give away all the answers, but we'll talk about some stuff. All right. So, one question is going to be, I want you to show why Miletus and not Socrates is guilty of corrupting the youth with the text and trying to get into all dialogues if you can. Now, how would you do that, kid? I mean student.
Wait, what was the question? Why is Miletus guilty?
Remember, Socrates was condemned for what?
For corrupting the youth.
So I want you to turn the tables on that. Come up with an argument with the text and evidence that actually it was Miletus that was guilty of corrupting the youth. How would you go about doing that? There's like 10 different arguments you could argue. Or 20. Or a million. Okay, good. Was there anything wrong Miletus did?
Miletus or Socrates?
Miletus.
Not really.
Miletus did a good thing by executing Socrates? Or getting...
I mean, yeah, that was wrong, because it wasn't...
Why? That's the question.
Because he didn't do it like... It wasn't his intention to corrupt the youth.
Okay. All right. Let's start with some basics. How would you show Socrates is a good guy?
He spreads his wisdom with others.
Okay. What does he care about?
The soul.
Yes. This was a line of attack you could use. So he cares about the soul and what? Is his main concern political philosophy?
No.
It's what?
Like...
What's related to this?
Himself.
What?
Himself.
Ethics.
Ethics.
Yeah, he wants what people to care about, what they should care about.
Mm-hmm.
So his major concern is ethics and being a good person. All right, what's he say about ethics? This is part of your argument to show. Does he care about getting people to care about money?
No.
No. Yeah, so he says pursuing wealth and these kind of things.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's being a good person. You want a peanut? Anybody want a peanut? All right. So in the apology, we have plenty of places you can dig this stuff out of. You can even appeal to the Euthyphro. What was he trying to do with Euthyphro?
I forgot.
Euthyphro was there, King Archon's court, to condemn his father.
Mm-hmm.
And Socrates was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Are you really so sure that this is the morally right thing to do?
Yeah.
So I think, it got into this question of holiness and piety, but I think he really was concerned, like, dude, are you really sure this is the right thing to do? Because if it's not, you're corrupting your soul by doing these bad moral deeds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you said Socrates is a good guy by what he cared about, emphasis on the soul, ethics, good decisions, his view of harm, which is what again?
Corrupting the soul.
Yeah, and can we do harm to each other?
Can we?
His main focus was we harm ourselves by our bad moral choices.
Mm-hmm.
How dumb does this hat on a scale of 1 to 10?
Your hat? It's fine.
Okay, thanks. All right. What else? So demonstrate with the text what Socrates cared about. Soul ethics,
Different versions. One
Truth.
is the textbook.
not money,
Textbook and reading.
virtue, good moral decisions, not harming yourself. What else? How else could you show that a teacher was a good teacher and not corrupted people? What can you look at?
Well, like, didn't in the text don't they say like people like talked bad about him, but he still did it anyways?
What's that?
He didn't care what like other people thought. He still kept doing his thing because that's what he believed in.
Yeah, did everybody hate Socrates?
I mean, most people, like a lot of people will talk bad about him.
Okay, let's say 99% of the world hates you. How would you show that you're still a good person? Who would you bring in?
What do you mean? Like,
Say the news media went against you, and then all the negative stories were about this woman who's a horrible person, which were all lies. Who would you bring in to mount your defense that you're actually a good person? There's nobody you can call on to say that you're a good person.
I don't know.
Do you have any friends?
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This Socrates' friends, unless they're all like Hitler,
Mm-hmm.
we can use their testimony. Okay? So the last line of the Phaedo, let's look at that. Can you read it?
Like the very last page.
The last line.
Such was at the end of our comradry,
Comrade.
Socrates, a man who we would say was of all those we have known the best, and also the wisest and the most upright.
All right. Plato's writing this, and, so you have end of the Phaedo. You have his followers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's trying to bust him out? What can you dig out of Crito to show that some people defend in the Apology too? Like
Crito wanted him to escape with him
why?
because he thought he would be like a bad example for his children and stuff.
Yeah. Also, it was his friend. He loved him,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was his teacher, or I guess there's some debate on the age of Crito. Some say he might be Socrates' age, something like that. But so yeah. If his friends are willing to do this, you can draw evidence from that.
Okay.
All to show that Miletus killed a good man that actually cared about Athenians, all right? And so how might that corrupt the youth if you're Miletus, killing the best guy in Athenian society? What's that show to the youth? Assuming he's a role model.
That it wasn't fair.
Yeah, so you want your argument to be Miletus is a role model for youth for injustice, for no justice. And draw the stuff out of the text. All right. Also, what else in the trial could you appeal to of Miletus? Think for a minute.
what class is it going over?
Philosophy.
What
Yeah.
philosophy 150?
140.
You can chime in too. Did you take this?
I'm actually taking philosophy 150. We just finished reading the Apology.
Oh, you did? All right,
Yeah.
you chime in. What's your name?
D'Amico.
What's up, man?
How you doing? I can definitely agree to the fact that Miletus is not just or obviously demonstrating things of injustice, because Socrates makes a point to document that he shouldn't even be in the courtroom to begin with.
Yes, this is what I was. What? What's that?
Well, he was supposed to. The courtrooms are a place for punishment rather than instruction, because Socrates unwillingly was wrongdoing by corrupting the youth. If that was the case, then Miletus should have taken the time to instruct him as to what he was doing wrong to correct it, rather than putting him into trial for punishment.
Yeah, what does that teach our kids? You bring potentially good people that may be doing something wrong into court and then have them murdered or killed. Where's the... So I would argue that point. You know, he should have pulled him aside if he thought he was corrupting the youth. Socrates, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Listen, buddy. You're telling people that Zeus isn't a crazy god who's, you know, does all this stuff, horrible stuff to women or whatever. You're challenging people on this. So yeah, I would argue that way. No justice. He treats what he thinks is wrongdoing the wrong way.
What does it say?
It says treats word, treats wrong. You have to back up all the stuff with the text, just like reading responses, okay? Trial for death and not confronting privately. Okay, that was worthless. So you think you can do that? Any other things you think you could show? What about the theology? How might Socrates' theology be better than Euthyphro's theology or the theology of ancient Athens, where they thought Zeus, sexually abused women, stuff like that, and were petty gods? Personally, I think it's blasphemous for us to think that God would come down and hurt women. And if that's your theology, that's totally false. And any movement away from that is a good thing. All right, as other people are going to argue, Plato and Augustine and others, the theology of ancient Greece destroys people. If their role model is Zeus, how are they going to treat women? That type of thing. You don't have to do that. This is enough. 250 to 500 words. Knock it out. Give me a bunch of quotes. Give me evidence. Show Socrates is a good guy. It's corrupted. Thanks again for that.
No worries.
All right. We're going to do one on civil disobedience and Crito. So, what's Socrates' main argument for not going with Crito?
It's wrong for him to do it.
Why?
Because he'd be like disobeying the gods.
Okay, he felt God's hand on his life, right? So yeah, the last line of Crito, he thinks it's God's will. His spiritual sign, his diamond, didn't stop him from going to the trial and all that. So there's that. But what's the law argument?
He doesn't want to break the law.
Why? He's dumb, or is there a reason?
Because he believes there's laws if we obey them.
Right? How did he show that he actually agreed to this? The laws of Athens.
By staying there? Like
Yeah.
going somewhere else?
Right. So he left for military service, that's it. So he said he traveled less than blind people and disabled people. And so by staying there and not leaving, he's consenting to, yeah. And he said we should honor the state more than our mothers and fathers because they are there to protect us and whatnot. And occasionally they'll dish out some unjust thing, but like his death, but you're still going to obey it. Why? If he disobeyed it, what would he think that would do for his sons in the community?
I think in the text it says that, like, if he were to disobey, then everyone else would think it'd be fine too, and then he says, like, there'd be chaos.
So he wants to be a role model. To obey the law, yeah. So show this with the text. All right. So with today's society, we have similar questions. Okay? So I want you to pick real life examples from recent history or history where you agree with Socrates, you should work within the system for change and not break any laws. Like, what are some examples of clear methods that Socrates might agree with?
Of, like, not breaking the law.
But you're still voicing dissent and protest.
Like Occupy? People protesting?
Yeah. So, well, not all occupies, but yeah, some of them were pretty good. Some of them, they cross the line in crime. But like marches on Washington, all right? Million Man March. There's big rallies in the Mall of Washington, all right? So peaceably assemble. Peaceful assembly. And 1,000 other things. I mean, writing letters to the editor. Okay, that type of thing. Yeah. So, what's on the opposite end? Where people have done things for social change. This last year, 2016. People have killed cops. People have killed police in order to protest police brutality rate. Okay? So, is that okay? I don't care what you think, just give me an argument, given your view of ethics, in light of Socrates' argument, what the boundaries are.
So do you have to give, like, both sides, kind of?
Yeah, give both arguments, and then what you think actually on your ethics, whatever it is, I don't care, type of thing. Ferguson. People protested there, and what happened? Baltimore, Charlotte, Milwaukee. All right. So talk about these. Are these legitimate moral expressions of dissent? Okay. You could talk about the LA riots that were in response to the Rodney King verdict. Okay? $2 billion in damages. 54 dead. Okay? Was that a good protest? To protest the police officers not being charged with battery or whatever. All right? So some people are going to be like, you know what? Yeah. These are morally permissible expressions. But sometimes you got to do this. Sometimes you got to kill the police and this and this. 54 dead. Socrates, what would he say to this? That's how I might phrase a question. What would Socrates say to this?
He probably wouldn't.
I might even ask your own opinion.
Like, violence isn't the answer, in his opinion.
Yeah, so clearly he's going to be a guy, he's like, listen, we might have a lot of injustices going on, but we don't ever kill police. We don't ever burn property in protests. We don't ever cause $2 billion and 54 dead, which is he would say that's the evil of all evils. All right. So I'll send you guys a website. It's got 240 different ways of peaceable things, so you can choose from that stuff. All right. So get clear on Socrates' argument why he's not going to leave Crito, that type of thing. All right. Now, but I do want you to say what might be morally permissible cases to break the law in social protest. From history, we can forget America right now. So, for instance, is it moral for people, what's his face? Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Christian writer, pastor in Germany, to try to assassinate Hitler? Is that moral? What do you think?
I mean, I don't think it's right to kill anyone, but Hitler was a bad person.
Okay.
It's justified.
I don't care what you think, just try to argue Crito's view, maybe in some extreme cases like Nazi Germany. Like some people said that Americans should have bombed the concentration camps. Okay? Even though they'd kill some prisoners, tons would have escaped, that type of thing. And the death camps would have ended. Stop massacring them, especially in 1945. Spring. Is it morally permissible for people in Nazi Germany to sabotage train tracks to keep Jews from getting to the death camps? So some people were doing that, but a lot of people didn't. Like Germans could have easily gone out there and knocked out those train tracks. You know what I mean? Is that morally permissible? All right. So Crito's argument. He gives the father argument and these kind of things, but he's saying one of his arguments is, wow, when there's such an injustice in society, it is morally permissible to break the law to say no to that injustice. So that's how Crito would argue, yes, it's morally permissible, perhaps, for people in Nazi Germany to blow up train tracks. All right, some people would be killed by a train wreck, but it would be better than everybody on that train, all those Jews going to their deaths. That makes sense? So, yeah. So give Socrates' view, Crito's view. I'm sorry, this question's half-baked in my head, but I want you to just talk about the ends of it. Crito's major argument, Socrates' major argument, and then look at real examples. And then I'll ask you your own view. Whatever you say, just defend it. Sound good? Is that enough essay questions, too?
I
All right.
think two.
I'll make this, larger. As subsets. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Those of you who finally believe in God's existence because the Cubbies are playing Game 1 in the World Series, were you a skeptic until then? Until Saturday? About God's existence?
No, actually, I've got my own kind of superstition. I actually refuse to watch any team I thoroughly enjoy watching in the playoffs because when I do, they lose.
Are you kidding me?
So I up until
You listen to the radio or?
No, up until Saturday, I didn't watch a playoff game, and I was with my girlfriend. She wanted because her parents are diehard Cub fans and they have season tickets. So I was like, all right, we'll go to Wicker Park and we'll watch the game from beginning to end. And I was like, all right, my curse is broken, so I'm watching the Cubs now. No, I've always been a Cubs fan.
That's funny, man.
But I just refuse to watch them in the playoffs because I just know
that you're the jinx?
I am the jinx, yep.
These Cubs fans are weird, kid. All right. Thank you from all of us at Chicago, Illinois. Are you watching a game tonight, kid?
Yeah, probably.
All right, go Cubbies. Today, what is today's date? 25th
Yeah.
Yeah.
of October 2016.